Hello, silver fans. This is T, and you're in the place to be for silver education, acquisition, and entertainment. Hey, today you are in for a treat. Today I'll be joined by Tommy from Hoosier Coin and Currency, and together we are going to do our best to help all the newbies out there. So if you are new to silver stacking or coin collecting, hey, this one's for you. And for everybody else, if you're a veteran of many years, hey, I have a feeling you might learn a little bit too. There's always something to learn when it comes to silver stacking and coin collecting. Please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And be sure to make a comment. You'll definitely hear back from me, and if you're lucky, you might even hear back from Tommy. Enjoy.
T.
Tommy, hey, welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate you being here. I've got a viewer who made a comment, and that comment prompted me to make this video with you because you are in a perfect position to help this gentleman. So welcome back, buddy.
Hey, T. Great to be back on, and hello to all of your viewers. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, and they enjoy watching you. They enjoy the wisdom that you bring to the channel. You know, I am, a collector. I'm a stacker. I'm a stack elector. And I can tell you with 100% no qualms about it. I just know a fraction of what I'd love to know about stacking and coin collecting. And it's my journey is a learning process, and I'd love to help other people along the way. Let me share this comment with you. The gentleman's name is Samuel Williams, and hey, he's from our state, Tommy. You're from, Avon, Indy area. I'm from Northwest Indiana, up in the top corner of the state, not right outside of Chicago. Sammy is from Fort Wayne area. He's 62 years old. And he starts his comment by mentioning that he has no coin knowledge, but he started stacking by doing it online. And then something happened. A friend encouraged him to go to a local coin shop over there in Fort Wayne, and now he's hooked, which is awesome. I love hearing about new people coming into what I call not only the hobby, but the lifestyle of staking silver, saving for our future, and for lots and lots of reasons. But I'd say, hey, let's make this video for guys like Samuel and other newbies, and give them some information that might be helpful.
Sure, absolutely, T.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I first started going into coin shops, I was a little intimidated. Typically, the owners of coin shops are a little on the older side. They have so much wisdom. And I was a little bit nervous. I might ask for the wrong thing or say the wrong thing. So I guess my first encouragement would be if my viewers have a local coin shop or a coin shop anywhere within driving distance to get in there. Do you have new people that walk in your door from time week to week, month to month? How many new folks do you have walking in?
Almost every day.
Really?
Yeah, there's very rarely a day goes by that there isn't, somebody that's new. Either they are getting into this, or sometimes they're just curious. There's a driving school next door and an antique store on the other side.
Okay.
And so people will see the sign. They're like, I've never been to a place like this. Or sometimes they never even heard of it, and so they just come in out of being curious and they want to check it out. How I got started into this, I don't think the internet was even a thing back then. But honestly, Mom, I was a little kid, and she would take me around to a few shops that were in the area. And you're right, it can be intimidating, but generally, as long as they had time, dealers would talk to me as a kid. A lot of times they'd hook me up with stuff. I would bring in things that either I had maybe purchased from someplace, or bring in stuff that maybe I'd been gifted, and just ask questions about it. That's how we learn, obviously, is by asking questions. So I just encourage people to have an open dialogue with other collectors, if they can get into a coin club. A lot of times
Mhm.
there's local coin clubs, and if you have a
Oh
local
yeah,
shop, go
I'm a
there
member of two
and
coin clubs.
yeah, don't be intimidated. The dealer has time. Ask questions.
Yeah, almost all coin shops that I visited throughout the state of Indiana, and I've been to quite a few, as my viewers know. Uh, in almost all cases, the shop owners and even the customers have been very, very friendly. And a lot of times, older generation, all you have to do is ask, and they will be happy to share their knowledge with you. I have been in one or two where I've felt uncomfortable and got kind of a snotty answer from a coin shop owner. And guess what?
Mhm.
You don't have to be there. You walk out and find a place that values their customers enough to answer questions.
Absolutely. I would say that's a mistake on their end. They missed an opportunity to do a video.
Yeah. And you never know. Looks can be deceiving. If a guy walks in with a suit and tie and he looks like he's got a lot of money to spend, I think, in my opinion, should be treated the exact same way with a guy with a pair of jeans and flannel, because you don't
I
know what
agree.
each of their bank accounts look like. You're rude to somebody based on their appearance, you might have just lost a potential for a valuable customer.
Sure, absolutely. Obviously, people should be treated fairly no matter what. I've had a lot of customers that started out small,
Mhm.
maybe buy one or two things here and there, and then later down the road became really big customers. Either a financial situation changed, or they became more interested in this, and so it became a different priority for them. So again, you never know, and really it doesn't matter in the long run. People need to be treated with respect and dignity.
Yeah. So I guess when you walk in at some point, you kind of need to figure out what your goals are. I describe myself as a stack collector, but I buy certain things for certain reasons. I kind of vacillate back and forth between trying to stack weight, and I'll use like my junk silver, aka 90%, uh, or some people call it constitutional. I'll
Mhm.
purchase, as much of that as I can at maybe at a trip to the coin shop, just to put weight in my stack. And that's what they kind of call like building the base of your stack, the foundation. But on other occasions, for different reasons, I'll find, coins that I like that just kind of catch my eye for the numismatic value. If someone comes in, is there like a starter point where say they like Morgan dollars? Obviously, you probably wouldn't want them or encourage them to go all in on a Carson City collection and spend thousands of dollars from the jump start. Tell me a little bit about education and maybe learning about the coin or the particular area that you're interested in.
Mhm. So you hit on a great point, and people are always like, "Well, what should I buy?" And I generally respond, "Well, take a look around at some things there. What catches your eye? What do you like?" Because uh, I can't tell someone what they're going to like. So definitely want to collect things that you enjoy, collect things that you like, unless you're looking at this solely from a standpoint of just stacking to have the metal.
Mhm.
You mentioned Morgan dollars.
Mhm.
You can get a lot of what I would say are better date Morgan dollars for
Mhm.
barely any premium over what the common ones are. So, maybe get some better dates in VF to extra fine. Some of the nice unks, like it looks like you probably got one there.
Yeah, I don't know how
Those
well
are
you can see
still.
this, but um, this one is something I bought, oh gosh, quite a while ago.
Mhm.
And it says $65 on it. I don't think I paid $65 for it, but it says MS60. Do you want to describe a little bit to the viewers what MS60 means, and should you trust an MS60 mark on a flip like this?
So I never pay attention to any writing that's on a flip, whether it be a grade, a price, a date, unless I know that the dealer has written it on there and it's somebody that I trust. Dealers that I trust, I know their grading is pretty stringent. A lot of times we're even maybe almost too hard on the coins. But the other day I had a couple coins and flips. Customer brought them in. One said 89 cc, the other one was 1884 cc, and the guy was like excited. He was like, "I have these rare coins." I looked them up. He had got them from a storage locker, and in fact, neither of them have any mint mark at all. They're both Philadelphia coins, and they were lower grade. So I would totally disregard any writing that's on a flip, as anyone can do that. But the
They
MS
said
stands.
CC and there wasn't even a mint mark?
Correct. No mint marks. Somebody had a wild imagination.
Oh,
I've
wow.
had a lot of people to be like, "You're not looking close enough." That's still not there. But the MS stands for mint state. That can be deceptive to someone that's new to the hobby because they can look at it and say, "I see flaws." So even on a mint state coin, you may have bag marks, or there may be a flaw in the planchet. The strike may be soft, but in theory, MS is mint state, and mint state coins are going to range from a 60 to a 70 on the grading scale. The grading scale in totality is 70 points. So anything below that 60 is going to be a subgrade below that.
One thing I can say is that my taste over time has kind of evolved. So, you might get into a particular type of coin if you're a coin collector, but then something like, this neat extruded 5-ounce California Crown Mint bar comes along, and before you know it, you're getting interested in something like that. And I think that's okay as long as you kind of educate yourself. And I know I paid more for that than I would for a generic round of some sort, considerably more. But I know that the value of it is more. And I think the vintage stuff, it seems to be just going up in popularity, which means it's going up in value. Would you say that?
I would agree. For people that want to get into that kind of thing, there actually are groups for that. I'm in several coin groups on Facebook. So on social media, there's coin groups. And if you do a search, you will find there are groups for vintage bars, for poured bars, for art bars. And the people in those groups have a lot of knowledge in those areas generally, and they're really into that stuff.
So basically, education, learning. It's something that could save you, or maybe even make you lots of money if you know what you're looking at.
Very true. Yeah. The more knowledge you have in this, just like in anything, the better off you're going to be. And, sometimes in the learning process, we hear things that we don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Earlier today, talked to somebody and I had to kind of bring them down to earth a little bit and tell them what they didn't want to hear. And they weren't too happy about that. And that's fine. They're going to go other places and hear that information. They may even hear it presented even less tactfully. But anyway, it's part of the learning process. There's been times when I myself have been a little disappointed about something. Come to find out it wasn't what I thought it was, or getting into collecting, have someone give me a piece of advice that maybe it went against what my mindset was at the time. It's like, man, really? But really be open to that, because it's how we learn.
Mm-hmm. Now let's switch off of coin collecting a little bit. Go to stacking. This is just a generic round. This is about as generic as you can get. One of these, as long as it says 999 fine on it. If you buy it from a reputable, coin shop, I think it's pretty safe to have confidence in it. As far as buying online, I wouldn't have as much confidence. But as far as pure stacking, let's go to the extreme opposite. The whole goal of stacking for some folks is to find the silver for as low a price as possible, as close to spot price as possible. And so what are some good examples? I kind of just mentioned junk silver. Other good examples, generic rounds, anything else that you would suggest that people look for if they are pure stackers and just wanting to add weight and for their safe?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you're looking to stack and you just want the weight, I would suggest to get items that are marked. You want them to be preferably marked, if possible. If it has the mint where it came from, like if it's Sunshine Mint, Highland, uh, Money Metals, any of those kind of places. Usually they'll put a little mint mark on
Hmm.
their bar,
Hmm.
or the silver round, so that's a
Hmm.
plus. Uh, what we sell probably the most of here is what I call 1 ounce buffalo rounds. They have a design
Yes.
like a buffalo nickel, and
Hmm.
those have a lower premium than say like a silver eagle or your favorite, the Libertads, much lower
Sure.
premium than that. So if you're looking to stack, and 100 ounce bars and larger, kilos, things like that, they're going to have a lower premium than your 1 ounce product, but it's not necessarily as liquid. There's going to be fewer people that are going to be in the market for something like that. It's probably not bad to have some of those things in your stack, but I would
Hmm.
definitely uh, focus primarily on 10 ounce and 5 and 1s.
Takes a special collector or a special stacker, and that's a lot of cash to drop all at
It,
once. Uh,
it is indeed.
and cool. So I guess that's another question between bars and rounds. You talked about the size. I would personally kind of shy away from anything bigger than 10-ounce bars. But do you see a significant difference between bars and rounds, or is it just a matter of preference?
I don't. I think it's more preference. I do have some customers that they only want bars because in their mind the rounds are not as easy to stack.
Mhm.
I figure if you put 20 rounds in a tube, and especially if you get square tubes, that stacks pretty easily. So
Mhm.
no big deal. For whatever reason, I've noticed a lot of suppliers don't have very many bars available, especially 10 ounce bars. I've seen not many of those come out in the market.
Mhm.
So I've moved more towards getting the 1 ounce rounds just for availability and a smaller premium. There's about a 20-cent difference per piece, I think, right now. And if I order rounds versus bars, but in general, there's not a big, not a big difference.
Yeah, I don't know. When I go to a coin shop, I like to sort through. I would have a hard time buying just a generic buffalo round. That's just me. I'll give you an
Mhm.
example. Instead of, same price, I'd rather have, something
NRA,
like this. Yeah,
yeah.
I happen to be a gun enthusiast and I enjoy shooting, and I certainly respect the rights of others and want people to respect my rights. Uh, it's just an interesting round to me. So I would take this over a buffalo, any day of the week. Um, and that's
So
just me.
that piece, I mean, if you pick that up for the same price as generic, I mean, absolutely. If I put that up in like an auction group, it would probably bring 30 $35 because of what it
Really?
is, the subject material. People would really like that.
That's the fun thing about going to coin shops, because I normally find cool stuff like that. Not every time. It's a big treasure hunt going to a coin shop, but I enjoy finding stuff like this and other similar stuff. This 1986 Ellis Island,
Hmm.
basically paid generic price, but it's got a little history. I've visited the Statue of Liberty. I'd rather look at this than go look at a generic buffalo. And I'm not knocking that. That's just my preference. Some guys will stack tube after tube after tube of buffaloes. I just have a little more interest in pulling out my silver and looking at it. And if it's the same price, why not? Some people, well, I'm one of them. I kind of steer towards Mexican silver.
Hmm.
And I love stuff like this. The uh, the,
Yes,
the
absolutely.
Aztec there is named Cuauhtémoc, and I made a video about this particular coin here. And again, sometimes I don't know if it was this very one, but there have been times where I've asked a dealer, can I see your foreign silver? Thinking I might find a Canada dollar like this, and the premiums were very low, like rock bottom. And I'm like,
Hmm.
whoa, this is a heck of a find. This is a beautiful coin. It's from 1948. It's got some cool history, and some people might uh, find that more interesting than just, again, the generics. But
That one appears to be in really good shape too.
yeah.
Kind of a fun thing about that, it actually tells you on the coin how
Mhm.
much silver's in it.
Yeah, this
It tells you
is,
it's 90%, and it
it
tells you the
sure
weight.
does. This is a 0.900, and it says lay. And I've seen guys make videos and they say lay and they don't know that means law. The word lay in Spanish is law. So by law, this is 90%. So that's pretty much like the Mexican government's guarantee. By law, this is made with 90% silver.
Older ones, they have the fineness, and I don't remember if all do, but a lot of times the weight is actually on there in grams.
Mhm. How about,
Takes the guesswork out of it.
yeah, how about stuff like this? I don't quite remember what I paid for this kookaburra, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
might have just bought it just because I liked it. Maybe even have paid more. And anyway, a lot of guys are into the silver from around the world, and
I think that's a little better date.
yeah, this is a 2015. I like the fact that Australia makes a variety every year. I think that's cool. China does the same thing.
I like that as well, and they give you a variety of things: kookaburras, uh, the kangaroos, koalas. They've always got a mix of things going,
Hmm.
but the kookaburras tend to have pretty low mintages.
Hmm.
And if my memory serves me correctly, I think your 2015 there, I think, is a little lower mintage piece.
Mm.
So if you snagged it at generic or close to generic price, I'd say you knocked it out of the park.
There's a whole world of silver out there. And I think, the key phrase is, buy what you like, be educated. Any other advice for newbies? I would certainly encourage them to spend time in the shop, maybe talking to the owner, maybe talking to other customers. Um, and just, it's a process to try to figure out what you're really into if you're brand new.
Absolutely. And and if the shop has an environment where, some shops people hang out in there. I've got a handful of people that generally almost every day there's somebody hanging out in here. And you had kind of touched on this earlier. Not only are they going to learn things from the dealer, but they'll learn things from customers.
Mhm.
So if I'm in here and I'm doing a transaction with somebody that's been a collector for 50 years, they probably know more than just about any dealer does, if they've
Yeah.
been serious about their hobby.
Mhm.
So listen to customers, and you can pick up a lot of information by just observing interactions between the other people. So you also
Mhm.
get to see a lot of fun stuff. It's not uncommon to have somebody bring something in that's interesting. And then if there's 4 or 5 people in there, it's like, hey, you guys want to see this too? Check this out.
Yeah. There's a reason why also YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. A great wealth of information. Prior to us starting this video, we talked about a YouTuber that I respect very much. You're a colleague of his in the coin business, and that's Daniel, who runs Coin Help You.
That's a great resource, and he's super helpful. Did a great website, and his channel is a good one to follow. Um, Very, very knowledgeable, and he's somebody that's trustful. So
Yeah,
you can count
my
on if he tells you
impression is
something
he's
that's going to be
respected in the industry very much.
absolutely. So I
I
recommend that as a resource.
Hey, Tommy, anything else that you think a newbie would want to learn about, or need to learn about?
It's such a diverse hobby.
Mhm.
So I would say, at least if you're getting started, is pick out things that you really like and kind of focus on learning about them. Because if you try to take everything in all at one
Ah,
time, it can be a little overwhelming. So
oh yeah.
if stacking is going to be your forte, then definitely you want to learn about bullion and learn about that. If you're more into, you mentioned Morgan dollars earlier, there's some great resources for Morgan dollars, kind of almost like fingerprints. The die pairings of Morgan dollars all have their own identifications. There's some people collect those. So if you get deep into it, there's Encyclopedia of Silver Dollars, and there's a VAM book that refers to the different die pairings. So it can get pretty deep. And if somebody tries to chew off all at one time and learn about Lincoln cents and Buffalo nickels and all these things at one time can be a bit overwhelming. So I would say also just pick out one or two things that you really like and kind of laser focus on those to begin.
Well, Tommy, hey, I certainly appreciate the time. You closed the shop a while ago. It's a Friday evening that we're recording this on. I'll air it next week sometime. But thanks for spending some time before you leave the shop on a Friday night, helping to educate our community. We have an awesome community, and it's always good to perhaps educate and help folks along the way.
Awesome, T. I greatly appreciate it. It's always fun. Pleasure to be on the channel. And if people have questions, feel free to comment, and I'm sure T will answer them for you, or probably one of your viewers.
I noticed on the last video that you were kind enough to make quite a few comments and answer a lot of questions. So if you're available after this airs to answer a few questions, I'm sure folks would appreciate that too.
I will definitely attempt to do so.
Hey, you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again sometime soon.
Awesome, T. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Take care.